This is a very halcyon moment in our G-Scale fandom. This is the USA Trains 8444 Greyhound scheme with gold trim, Northern style locomotive. An absolutely monstrous engine. This is the tender coming out first, and we're going to take you on an unboxing journey to show you what you can expect to get if you order an 8444 from Charles Rowe and USA Trains. Previously, for Big Boy and the previous edition USA Trains Hudsons, these were shipped in wooden crates, separated in 2 levels. What we're not sure of, will we see a wooden case in here or will we see a cardboard box? We literally have no idea what to expect, but we're excited to see what's going to come out of here. Oh, look at this. Individual wooden crates for each segment of the locomotive system itself. The tender and the locomotive will be in their individual own wooden crates. This is superb. So this is the face of the crate. The Velcro straps are a nice addition. Let's see what we got here. This is how it comes shipped when you first get it. Very well packaged, as you can see. Oh my Lord, look at this. Look at this, look at this. That is beautiful. This is the rear of the tender right here. You can see the exquisite detailing on the lights, the ladders. You can see the high quality packaging, just the excellent detail on the centipede wheels, the 2 articulating trucks, all of the nice little details that just make these such amazing locomotives and tenders to own. One very important detail to note is the whole tender, as is typical with USA Trains large, heavy die-cast locomotive and tender shipping. This entire platform that the tender is bolted to, because it is bolted to the platform underneath, this platform, when you first get it, this is screwed down to the case to prevent shifting while in transit to your doorstep. And we're going to remove it right now. So these are the bolts that secure the tender to this platform. You can see here, as usual, if you're a USA Trains aficionado or have any of their previous large scale or G-scale steam locomotives, grooves here for the wheels to rest in, so you make sure that your piece is properly, safely, and securely stored for storage or transit. And this is the tender right now outside of the case. This is the UP8444 with the gold trim, the Greyhound Gray. Now, I'm not a fan of Union Pacific nearly as much as my friend who bought this locomotive is, but this is absolutely a staggeringly beautiful piece of art that is also an incredibly gorgeous toy. The rivet detailing, side panel detailing, the wheel detailing. You've got the lovely USA Trains connector. This is made up with the locomotive. All of the detailing here, all the panels and scribing and raised detail and texturing. I mean, it is just thrilling piece. You can see they even have the number, the edition number of this particular paint scheme, number 17 for my friend here, for the water fill. And you think this is the oil bunker fill here, I think. I don't know. But still, just incredible amounts of detail on this tender. So before we bring the big monster out of its case, you can see just how beautifully this heavy, all-metal construction tender slides, glides even on the rails. Absolutely exquisite craftsmanship on this tender. And soon we're gonna have the engine out, pair them up, light them up, test them, see how everything's going. We're getting closer. Just like it was with the tender, the locomotive is packed in a very similar fashion. Significant and indeed quality packaging all around, including corner pieces that if you're someone who stores these things, you're gonna wanna save them. Just like with the tender, the locomotive is in a wooden case. This piece, as you'd expect, is significantly heavier by at least a factor of 2 than the tender. So when you get ready to unbox this monstrosity, you need to be on a safe, stable surface to make sure in case something goes sideways, this locomotive does not have far to fall. Or have a friend with you who can also make video of it in case things do go sideways. But now, here comes the fun. Moment of truth. Here it comes. It's almost like seeing the Starship Enterprise.
Wow, it smells brand new too.
Just absolutely staggeringly beautiful. Paint lines and the detail, so crisp. Just little tiny things that all of these elements just highlighting why it took them so long to get this thing to the market. Just look at the detail. Look at how crisp. Look at all the features. This locomotive model is a fitting, gorgeous tribute to the living legend herself, 844, in a legendary scheme. Just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful locomotive. Now it's time to get it out of the box. All right, in our zeal to experience the magic of this locomotive, we almost forgot to look for the shrouds. So the shrouds, when you first open your locomotive case, and it's facing you out like this, up on top, you will see these two pieces. They almost look like they are desiccant moisture absorbers, the silicone desiccant little baggies. This is where the shrouds live, and they're nicely packaged. I won't unbox them or unwrap them. That's for my friend to do because this is his locomotive, but I will at least tell you, check the top. Don't dispose of any of your packaging until you know you have every piece of your locomotive secure and accounted for to make sure that you're not going to miss out on any experience related to this engine. Don't forget, unscrew at each point so you can slide the locomotive's platform out to remove it. And as we discovered with the tender, the wing nuts that you can't see that are underneath there are very, very, very tight. You may need a pair of good pliers or channel locks to get you a good grip on it so you can loosen those nuts. Be very careful and do it on a stable surface so you don't end up letting your colossal investment that is also very, very heavy topple. Make sure you check the top. This bag right here contains a collection of just incredible little flags you can mount on the actual flag posts on the front of the locomotive. But also in this bag appears to be, haven't verified it yet, oh no, I'm sorry, beneath the bag of flags you have the shroud mounting frames. So make sure you check and ensure that you have these components when you unbox your FEF-3. So we have the locomotive out of the box. We haven't connected it yet. We're just on a piece of test track. We're going to make sure that everything is working properly. Everything, of course, except the smoke. We don't have any smoke fluid, fortunately or unfortunately, as the case may be. And the reason we're not connected up yet and ready to rock and roll is because there is a lot of packaging grease. And if you are someone who is an avid hobbyist, you know that packaging grease can be annoying. It can also be detrimental to paint, and it also could be much more of a hassle than you want to deal with. So you're going to want to wash it off periodically. So, but one thing I do want to highlight, this right here is one of the flag posts. You can see that due to how it was packaged and or shipped, it is bent. So far, that is the only major issue that we have encountered with this locomotive through the unboxing process. when you do get your locomotive, make sure you check those flag posts. First of all, that they are there and properly attached. And second of all, what their condition is. And if you do try to bend them, be very, very careful, because we have no idea just what grade of metal that is. This could be very thin, very brittle, and it may snap off if you're not careful. So just be very aware of that fact. All right, so while we're doing some more setup, by request, this is going to be left in its packaging, but this is not the shroud frames as I initially thought. This is what I believe is the rear bulkhead for the cab of 844, neatly packaged. So if you want to enclose your engineer's cab, and well, control cab, whatever you want to call it, on your locomotive, this plate is nicely packaged with the flags on top of the styrofoam in the rear of the box. Drops right in theory. But let's talk about shrouds. So this is one of the shrouds for 844/8444. Now, the detail on it is superb. It is a metal component, and you can see here, these 3 teeth will drop into holes on the top of the boiler at the front. However, here and here, these little tongues will end up being screwed to the running boards at the front of the boiler. That is how you will end up attaching the shrouds to the frame of the locomotive and ensuring they won't flop around during operation or fall off. However, the problem with these shrouds is that if you are someone who likes to take assiduous care of your engine and put them back in their boxes when you're done playing with it, or you're gonna have to make do without putting all the foam inserts back into place when you button it up for safety. So if you want to keep your shrouds on, you're putting less foam in, but in theory, or in fact, depending on how you do your hobbying, you shouldn't need to unless you are someone who brings your 844 model to a club layout routinely, and you want to make sure that you're keeping your locomotive as safe as you possibly can during its transit. So here is the left side shroud being put on. And you'll notice it just drops in mostly. You may have to give it a little bit of work in case the paint on either component of the shroud or the boiler gives you some guff. But it does just drop on there. And you have yourself a Union Pacific 484 locomotive ready to rock and roll. Number 8444 in the Greyhound with gold trim. Next up, it's time to run it.